The first front mission game from 1995 was a passion project by a small developer called Gcraft, a group who pushed the boundaries of what the SNES system could do through amazing sprite work and mech design. Forever Entertainment has done a lot of work to change those sprites into fully rendered 3D models, and remade the original score and sound design. But little else. A game that has its mechanics and systems based in the 90s feels exactly the same in the year 2022. And it suffers for it. The comparisons start immediately as you start the game up and watch its intro cinematic. It's almost exactly the same, apart from the ending of the original has a spiffy transition to a title card using the SNES's Mode 7 capabilities. Its modern counterpart fails at the first hurdle and just mutes the audio with the black screen. When you compare the two directly, it's very easy to see which game has had the most care and attention put into it, and with all the modern video editing software out there, it would be simple to fix this. But it isn't. Like so many things with this project, small changes that could have been implemented to better the experience just haven't been done, leaving me with a bitter taste on what could have been a great remake. In fact, calling the game a remake is quite disingenuous, honestly. It seems at most a remaster. A new coat of paint on the same mechanics and failings as its 27-year-old cousin, looking back at what made the old game great, but doing little to actually understand what needs to be addressed to make such an old idea great 2.5 decades later. Okay, it would be unfair to keep bashing the game without specifics, so let me give some examples. The biggest problem the original had was its pacing. Gcraft wanted to show off its fantastic graphics by showing in full, gloriously slow detail attacks and counterattacks between the Vanzes as they fought. The problem with this is that it can take 4 or more attacking turns to destroy an enemy unit, meaning it can take a couple of minutes to take down one guy when the random damage goes against you. More on that later. When you have up to 20 enemy units, each taking a couple of minutes to kill, and the fact that each of those units will have their own turns to move and attack, you can be talking about a full hour for each mission taken. That is a long time for just one mission. Forever Entertainment could have, and probably should have, taken a look at this and attempted a balance fix to make battles take less time. Instead, they came to the conclusion to keep the game pretty much identical in this regard, but offered an option to disable movement and attacks to save as an alternative. Removing movement on the map is actually a good call. The Vanzes move as you would expect as they position themselves, albeit a little goofily when ascending or descending different tiered terrain, and not having to see this does save on time. Not seeing the actual combat take place is honestly very odd. It takes away from the spectacle of seeing these giant mechs do battle, and reduces it to simple numbers appearing, that makes the game seem more like a spreadsheet or a game of D&D. Seeing these designed behemoths do battle is the big draw of the game, and to take that away just seems wrong. Playing the original on an emulator that has a fast forward ability is still very much the way to play this game. You still get to see your Vanzes hard at work blowing stuff up, but once you grow tired of it, you can make those sections take much less time. For Forever to not pursue this is baffling to me. Whilst we're still covering the actual gameplay here, random damage. Front Mission plays a lot like a normal tactical RPG, with attacks dealing damage to the target's health points. Where it differs is that each body part, or mech part, has its own individual health bar, and for a large part of the game you don't get to decide which parts get hit. I've mentioned before why this sucks, link up there. So I'll keep this brief. Several things could have been changed to address this, but yet again gameplay mechanics from the original have been kept exactly the same, to the detriment of the product. Later on, you do get skills that allow you to manually select which part to aim for, at a penalty to hit chance. But it takes too long to get there, and most new players aren't going to stick around until then to find that out. In a world where brand new strategy RPGs like Triangle Strategy and old remakes like Tactics Ogre Reborn give you fast forward controls so that you can tailor the experience in a way that suits different players, not having these properly introduced into Front Mission First Remake is inexcusable. I understand the desire to have an authentic experience that plays like the old games, but you can't call it a remake if you don't actually change the way it plays. Another problem with pacing is outside of battle. Both games, new and old, take great pains to show off the customization options for your mechs, and in both games they'd look great. The problem comes from how long it takes to fit each of them out. For the majority of the game you will follow a pattern, complete a mission, return to base, and then outfit your Vanzers with new weapons and parts to upgrade them and make your numbers go up. It's a very standard trope in RPGs in general, I will admit, but it's the time taken to do so that's the issue. Each part and weapon change requires you to go through 4 different menus and a confirmation screen, and then you have to return through each of those menus to move on to the next part. By the middle section of the game, when you're dealing with 10 plus mechs that you have to outfit individually just like this, it becomes very much a chore. I had been hoping for some time that they would implement a system for saved loadouts, allowing the player to create a default that could be applied to each unit with just a couple of clicks, saving massively on time and quickly getting you back into the action. But again, I'm disappointed to find out that yesterday's problems are back again, or one might say, they might be here forever. By the way, I understand that this lack of changes and nice coat of paint could actually be very appealing to some of you. The idea that you can play a game from your youth that you have nostalgia for, but it looks like a modern game would be nice. I understand that. But I'm trying to come at this from the perspective of somebody who doesn't have that nostalgia, a new player. I also don't hold the original game in such pristine regard as to think nothing needed changing, but I'm sure you figured that out already. Whilst overall I do think that the game is disappointing, it's a missed opportunity to actually remake a classic game and improve upon it. Front Mission First Remake's graphics are indeed very nice to look at, but there are too many other strategy RPGs out there that you can look at for a better, more player-friendly experience, and for none of that to have been used in this game just makes it stand out for all the wrong reasons. It's just clunky. It isn't all bad news though. Whilst I've never actually played Front Mission 2, I have played 3, and I like that game a lot. If we continue down this path of fateful remasters, then Front Mission 3 could actually be a very good experience. The problem is that I'm hoping again, and so far Forever Entertainment hasn't done a lot to convince me that my hope is well placed. And that's about it. If you like this video, then there's a button down there just for you. There's also one to subscribe to my channel there too, and it might be an idea to do that. I try to cover all things strategy RPG on here, and as Front Mission is indeed one of those, I'm doing a full playthrough of the game for people to enjoy. Links down below. I'm also going to be reporting on all the upcoming Front Mission remakes as well, so subscribe if you would like to keep informed about those. As for now though, that's it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Ciao.